So, what does a private company screening of the movie Oppenheimer have to do with the generative AI you use like every single day?
It sounds like a joke setup, but it's actually super relevant.
Right. Well, welcome to today's deep dive. We're unpacking Empire of AI by the award-winning tech journalist Karen Hao.
Yeah, and her research is just, I mean, she did over 300 insider interviews for this. It's extensive.
It really is. And our mission today is to sift through all that meticulous research to figure out what is really fueling this whole AI boom.
And her central argument is, well, it's pretty provocative. She's saying OpenAI isn't operating like your traditional fast-moving tech startup.
Yeah, she argues it actually functions as a modern-day empire, like literally extracting global resources to power this one singular vision.
Is a really bold premise. And to understand how this empire kickstarted its massive resource-hungry expansion, How takes us back to a very specific moment.
Oh, the demo, right.
Exactly. They needed to prove their raw power to, the ultimate tech billionaire Bill Gates.
Wait, hold on. I thought Gates was like an early champion of all this AI stuff.
Not at first, actually. No, he dismissed the early GPT models entirely. He literally called them idiot savants.
Oh, idiot savants.
Yeah, meaning, they could generate highly fluent text, but they completely lacked any complex underlying critical thinking.
So, what actually changed his mind then?
A challenge. Gates basically told the OpenAI team he would only take them seriously if their model could pass an AP biology test.
Which is not easy.
Right, and he figured that would take them years. But by late 2022, they brought GPT-4 over to his house, and it scored 59 out of 60 on the multiple choice section.
Wow.
And it completely aced the open-ended questions, too. Gates was just stunned. He called it one of the most incredible demos he had ever seen.
Okay, let's unpack this. That single demo essentially launched the entire arms race we're in right now.
Totally. Suddenly, it was all about scale.
Right, but it reminds me of, like, strip mining a forest to build a luxury high-rise, The end product might be incredibly shiny, but you are completely devastating the local ecosystem to source the raw materials.
That's a great way to put it.
So what exactly is the mechanism here? Like, what is actually being extracted to build these models?
Well, according to Howe's reporting, that extraction hits the world's most vulnerable people first. A pristine AI requires this massive amount of invisible human labor.
Right, the data workers.
Yeah. Howe spent time with data workers in Kenya who were, frankly, earning starvation wages to do something called RLHF. That's reinforcement learning from human feedback.
Which means what, practically, for the people doing it?
It means manually reading and filtering out the absolute most horrific toxic data from the internet, so your final interface is clean and user-friendly.
Oh, man. So humans have to look at the worst of the web so the machine learns what not to say. That sounds absolutely grueling. But wait, I remember reading that these Kenyan workers actually tried using ChatGPT to, help automate their own filtering tasks, and it completely backfired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it is just a bitter irony.
How does that even happen, though?
Well, the workers use the AI to speed up their repetitive tasks. But OpenAI's automated anti-bot systems flagged their hyper-efficient querying as a terms of service violation.
You're kidding!
No, the system automatically blacklisted them. They were banned from the very platform they were, traumatizing themselves to build.
That is just, wow.
And human labor isn't even the only resource being strip mined. There's a huge physical cost, too.
Like the servers?
Yeah, the massive data centers required to train these models generate so much heat that they require millions of gallons of fresh local water just for cooling.
Which raises a massive question for me. If the toll is this high, exploiting the very people building the system and draining local water supplies, how do the architects of this technology justify it internally?
Right, without facing a massive employee revolt.
Exactly.
Well, by framing the company's mission in almost religious terms. Hal points out that CEO Sam Altman once wrote that successful founders don't just create companies, they create religions.
Religions, that's intense.
It is. They project this fiercely altruistic mission. I mean, Altman frequently talks about AI ushering in an age of massive prosperity that will literally cure disease and end poverty.
But wait, ending global poverty. That is quite the utopian promise to make when you are, as you said, paying data workers starvation wages.
Yeah, that is the fundamental contradiction Howe highlights. And she brings it incredibly close to home, too. She details the private reality of Altman's own sister, Annie.
Oh, I read this part. It's striking.
Very. While the company was publicly promising a world of limitless abundance, Annie was personally struggling with severe housing and food insecurity.
That is a staggering disconnect.
How uses this to question the core narrative,
Hmm.
right? Like, if the creators of this technology can't or won't ensure abundance for their own vulnerable family members, how can we trust the technology will do it for the rest of the world?
I mean, when you put it like that, this whole extractive path feels so incredibly daunting. Is this just the inevitable cost of building artificial intelligence?
Hao strongly argues it isn't. She highlights grassroots movements that prove there's another way.
Like what?
For instance, the Tiiku projects in New Zealand. They're using AI to preserve indigenous Maori languages.
Oh, that's cool. How does that work technically compared to the OpenAI approach?
Well, instead of scraping the open web without permission, they build small, bespoke models, and they're trained exclusively on locally owned, ring-fenced data.
So it's much more controlled.
Exactly. It proves AI can actually be built on a foundation of mutual consent and data sovereignty, rather than just relentless extraction.
So bringing it back to that private Oppenheimer screening at OpenAI, it was a movie about the awesome, terrifying scale of a new technology and, the blast radius it leaves behind.
A very fitting metaphor.
Definitely. So the next time you type a prompt into a generative AI, take a second to ask yourself, whose hidden labor, uncredited art, and local water supply were extracted to generate your answer?